Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be installing a smart switch that's going to control the playroom area in my basement. The smart switch is by TPLink. It's called Kasa, and it is a dimmable, adjustable light. And so I'll be installing it here. It's going to control 4 overhead recessed lights in this little area down here in my basement that's going to be set aside for my kids to play in. I'm going to show you how to wire it into the box, and I'm going to show you how to set up the app, and then also control it with Google Assistant. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's see what's in the box. Alright, so inside the box you get some hardware, a set of instructions, and then the actual switch itself, which comes with this faceplate. It actually has a no-hole faceplate, which is kind of nice if you're into that kind of thing. Then you have the actual switch itself. So let's get this thing put into the wall, set up the app, turn all these lights on. In order to wire this switch in, it has 2 spots for power, which go to your switched area, or which go to your switched wires, and then it also has a spot for connecting it to ground, and also to connect it to neutral. So I've got my neutral pulled out. Normally on a regular switch you don't use the neutral, you just pass through, but this one has a spot for it, so we're going to wire that in. Okay, let's get started. Alright, I'm going to loosen these screws up a little bit. And I'm going to actually wire these into here. So I'm going to start with the ground. And just so you can see it on there, it shows and says neutral, ground. And these two are for your, and these two are for the switched power. Alright, so these two are wired in. Now we just have to put these two onto our hooks, or onto our screws. Alright, now we can get the second one in. Alright, now you can see they're all wired down in there. Make sure those are all snug. Make sure these wires aren't going to pop out. We'll get everything shoved back into there. Now this is a tight fit because this thing is actually really thick, but we'll make it work. Also make sure you put it in facing up. Not like I did. Just try to put it in upside down. Try to make sure you get it in there right the first time. Alright, now we got it mounted. Let's get it powered on and test everything out. Alright, so when you turn your power on, it should have this flashing orange and green. That means it's got power, but the flashing orange and green means that it has not been connected to your Wi-Fi. First thing I'm going to do is push the button, turn it on, see if it controls these lights, which it does, so that's good. So now we can get back to programming this. Turn that light off. Cool. The next steps are to load up the Kasa app. I've already got a couple of these already installed, but you're going to click on add a device, which is right here. And then you're going to add a smart switch. You can add in a smart switch, a smart 3-way switch, and also a smart dimmer. This one is a dimmer. So it says, have you already wired it up? I have, so I'm going to hit yes. Then it says check the Wi-Fi light, make sure that it's blinking orange and green, which it is. Then it's going to connect. The next step is to get it connected to your network. Once you connect it to your network, you're allowed to name it. I'm going to name this one Playroom, because this is going to be my kids' playroom. Next. You can pick a custom icon. I'm just going to stick with the standard one, that's fine. Set the dimming range. It turns the lights on. You can set the dimming range. Test. It's going to then it's going to turn the lights all the way up and all the way down to make sure that it doesn't flicker. Alright, all good. It is done calibrating. Then it will probably go out and find an update and then update it. There's the firmware update, update now. That takes about 30 seconds. We'll let that click through and it should be done. Alright, so the update is now complete. Alright, so now that the update's complete, you can actually control the lights up here with your phone. So if I actually click on this, I can then change the brightness. It's at 1%, and I can just turn the dial up, and that turns it all the way up. That's pretty cool. So it's all the way up now. Alright, and then you can also turn it on and off, just like that. You can also turn it on and off from the home screen as well. Now that's cool. Now if you're like me and you have Google Assistant, or if you have an Alexa or one of those other things, you can add this device to your home and then control all of it with that, which is what I normally do. I don't normally use this Kasa app. I just use my Google Assistant. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to add a new device. So you click in there, in the top left there's a little plus sign, you click and add a device. You're going to say set up device, and you're going to click on one that says works with Google. Alright, then you're going to say TPLink Kasa, which I already have one. You click on that, then you can see the new one. You can hit this, which is my new playroom, which I just assigned, or I just created. Now I can assign it to a room. Now I'm going to assign it to the basement. Now it's there, hit done. I now have the playroom in here. So I can actually, from Google Home, I can actually click and turn it on. So that worked. Turn it off. Alright, so there you go. Control everything with your phone. So now in my house I'm pretty much moving everything to now have this smart feature so I can control everything with my voice. I have the little Google Wi-Fi routers spread out throughout the house so that they have a Google Assistant control in it, so you can actually control everything with your voice, but I'll show you how that works. So I actually just unlocked my phone and I'll talk to my Google Assistant. It'll turn the lights on in this room right here. Turn on playroom lights. Of course it's not set up yet. I just set you up, you piece of fucking shit. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, so now I'm going to swipe on my phone. I'm going to use my voice to turn the lights on in here. Turn on playroom lights. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, now you turn them off. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you're wiring up some light switches in your own house, give these a try. I've been really happy. This is the third one I have now. I'm going to wire in probably 2 or 3 more two-way or 3-way switches so I can have control it in my kitchen and also control a couple of different light sets down here. See you in the next one.